This is LJackTV, and I'm here with
Charles Green,
Janisha Harris,
David, Isaac, Kyan.
How does your frat get involved with the black community and everyone?
Okay, so I am a part of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and one of our major, key points is service to all mankind, right? So, there's an alpha in every city and every town and all across the world, right? So we try to do our best every day to affect change in our individual community. Today we're here at the Dr. Martin Luther King Scholarship Brunch, serving these people, serving these students, and the faculty, staff, it's all a part of that.
So when you wrote the poem, where did you find your inspiration from?
Found the inspiration, like I mentioned, I was arrested a few times within my activism. Each time I was arrested, I grew more rageful. I had a lot of pain and anger with the way that society was working at the time for black people and people of color. And so the inspiration behind the poem was honestly rage, anger, and a quest for more.
Right now, I'm with the biggest black supporter in the world. So right now, tell me how you get involved in your community.
Well, I'm from Florida, West Palm Beach. I'm not from Morgantown, but back home, I was definitely always engaged in some type of community service. When I was in 12th grade, I started this
She started giving a whole resume. Hold on. So you know what day it is today?
It's MLK Day.
They would try to say it doesn't affect your community, but it also does.
That's how we affect change, just one person at a time.
All right, so how did MLK inspire you as the man you are today?
So many people like MLK and others have, inspired the work that I do because, just setting the bar higher and higher, it really, having inspiration like that, helps you to continue to push forward, push further, and get it done.
It inspires me to always be a community, to be unified, and think about everyone who is always around me. Fight for the people who inspire me and inspire those people back.
You know what I'm saying?
On MLK Day, it's very special that y'all are here. So what did you know that MLK did that influenced today?
Just all of his work to try and build a more equal society, break down the barriers and all the stigmas between people and bring people together. It's a lot different from how it was in the 60s and stuff, and he had a big part to play in that.
Yeah. And what about you, sir?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
Could you tell us why MLK Day is important to you?
Well, I can remember Dr. King in my youth. I was 14 when he was assassinated, and I grew up in that era, and it's always been vitally important to me, the ideals and the principles that he stood for. And I think it's incumbent upon us, Americans and worldwide citizens, to honor him and to honor what he stood for every time that we can, not just on Martin Luther King Day, but every day as he would want us to do.
How did MLK influence today?
By genuinely believing in the fact that he could create a better society for all, by doing the proper things, by becoming the change that he wanted to see in the world.
And just seeing y'all together right now, just hanging out on a regular, normal day, do y'all appreciate this more?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
You do?
Yeah.
So, say it again, sir.
Oh, wait. We may not always appreciate the fact that things have changed for the better, but the fact that we can enjoy it is the most important part.
You agree with him?
I agree 100% with him.
How could you turn that anger and pain to something beautiful and so positive?
Specifically for me, I decided to turn my pain and rage into a community effort, which is the Free Community Food Program. And essentially, like I mentioned, it's basically a program where we feed the community, we feed the houses, but specifically the program is targeted around children from ages 5 to 18. And so the parents and the kids, they come in, they get as much as food as they want. And it's really just a beautiful community experience. And so that's where I chose to channel my trauma into victory, if you will.
Can we all hug together?
Sure.
My brothers-in-law, man. I just love y'all. MLK Day. Everybody do this on 1, 2, 3. We gonna lean forward. 1, 2, 3. MLK. For the people who didn't see MLK Day, because you said in your youth, How was that, and how do you share the message to the ones who didn't get to see him in his lifetime?
Well, I feel like I'm privileged because I lived in that period of time, and it puts me in a unique position to be able to share that. And whenever I get the opportunity to talk to young people like yourself and tell them the importance of the principles that he stood for and what he had envisioned, not just for Americans and not just for Black Americans, but for world citizens, I think it's my duty to do that because I was privileged enough to have lived in his lifetime.
So what tips or advice you give to help other people spread the message and come together?
I guess do what you can to help. Everyone has different talents. You know, just because you have a different talent than someone else doesn't mean you can't help. Do whatever you can in your own way to benefit the greater community.
All right.
Yeah.
And any last words? What would you say to Dr. Martin Luther King? What would you say?
A big thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Wow. Thank you, bro.
Yep.
I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not